It's Friday, August 18th, and when it's Friday, you know what that means. It's time for Comics Forever. Welcome back to Comics Forever, the weekly show where I tell you about all the comics that we love that you should be reading. Now, one of the most frequent questions I get constantly is, what's going on with the X-Men? It looks cool, but I am intimidated. And that is totally valid, viewer. Don't worry. X-Men is a lot, no matter how long you've been reading comics. If you're brand new to it or you've been reading for your entire life, you gotta keep up with it week to week, otherwise it's gonna leave you in the dust. So, luckily, if you are behind or you want to jump in, I'm here to help. So let's get into the fall of X and the books that you should be reading to jump in. First up, the Hellfire Gala. So every year of the Hickman era of X-Men, the dawn of X, the reign of X, all of the X's, there's been a Hellfire Gala, which basically acts as an annual issue for all of the X-Men books. So it's kind of like, here's what we got going on, and it usually sparks a new storyline. In one, they terraformed Mars, and they created a world in which X-Men Red exists. The next one, they started Judgment Day, basically. So there's always something crazy going on in the Hellfire Gala, and this issue is even bigger than all of those. I don't want to spoil anything for you. Hopefully you have kept off of the internet and not seen the crazy spoilers, but needless to say, the fall of X all happens here. And then everything else that ties into it is the consequences, the reaction to, and the fallout of the fall of X. So if you haven't read the Hellfire Gala, it is crucial to catching up on what the X-Men are doing. And if you haven't been reading lately, you're totally good. It will catch you up. It tells you everything that the X-Men have been up to, everything that Orcus has been up to, and like gives you a little, catch up on everybody right before it all goes to hell. So get the Hellfire Gala 2023 today. Next up, Dark X-Men. I can't tell you too much about this book without spoiling the events of the Hellfire Gala, but needless to say, a lot of the X-Men after the gala are indisposed, and some of the remaining misfits are even more misfittier than usual, and they're pissed. So they're out for blood. This team right here, this lineup, it's like they read my dream journal from when I was 13. Like, it's just so cool and badass and goth, and it's awesome. Madeline Pryor, of course, we love our girl, the Goblin Queen, but also the Archangel, Gambit, friggin' Havoc, friggin' Albert, the Wolverine cyborg. Say no more. It's incredible. This book, I've been excited for it, and now I'm even more excited now that I've read it. Highly recommend you jump into Dark X-Men #1 today. And lastly, an X-Men book that does not appear to be an X-Men book on first glance, Uncanny Avengers. With Captain America leading the charge, we stand a human ally. He's teaming together a bunch of other X-Men that are on the run from the law, including Rogue, Psylocke, and Monet, along with some X-Men adjacent heroes, Quicksilver and Deadpool, teaming up together to avenge the events of the Hellfire Gala. Again, you really need to read that one to read anything else. It's awesome. It includes some other mysteries. Who is Captain Krakoa? What the heck is he doing? Is he a member of the Brotherhood? Is the Brotherhood back? It's crazy. I really like this book. It's kind of a continuation of what Jerry Duggan has been doing in the regular X-Men series, so if you like Avengers, if you like X-Men, make sure you hop into Uncanny Avengers #1 today. Thanks for joining me for another Comics Forever. There are tons of other Fall of X titles that you should be reading, so don't worry, we'll be talking about those in other future episodes of Comics Forever, so make sure you tune back in every Friday for all of those. And in the meantime, if you need even more comic book recommendations, make sure you check out my podcast, Tales from the Short Box. Until next time, Comics Forever. That's too spoilery. Try to avenge those spoilers. Too many spoilers.